Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Helka and an empath, and I like to do these little daily talks just on how I interpret things. We all have an eye, and how we see things, and this is my channel on how I see things. You know, I believe in a lot of mythical, magical, wondrous things, and quantum physics, and spirituality, not religion. Don't get it twisted. My hair wig. It's funny, I didn't finish. He went up a little high because I asked him to, and I went in him. I was, yeah, we'll do one all the way up. And then I started saying something else, and I didn't say taper into two, so we got a little high today. It'll grow out in a couple days, and not to worry. I won't look like a, what are those, sea monkeys? Those on the back of comic books in the 70s and 80s. You could grow your own sea monkeys. That's what I look like to me right now. A sea monkey. Monkey, sea monkey, do. Anyway, it's already been an eventful day. Yesterday was freaking, man. Fiery. Living in the amends today. Living the amends today. I went out and did grocery shopping and did some stuff, and freaking, my ankle was all busted up. That's what happened. It started out, all the dogs got out. It ain't easy to wrangle four freaking beagle mixes, but two just went across the street. They were easy, and two went up and around the corner. My Gimpy, my Tutuck, he was up with Benny around the corner and making friends and saying hi and stuff like that. So we got him back, and everything is okay. And then did chores, because I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I'm too, doors not getting closed, and then I'm reminded the universe is just really good at teaching me lessons, and I freaking wouldn't have to keep teaching them to me if I would just pick them up, But I like to do things with slight variances to see if I can get things to work, I guess. But anyway, and sometimes stuff just happens, Sometimes dogs just get out, and then later in the day, it's freaking afternoon. Stanley's usually sleeping in one chair, and I just washed the blanket. He wasn't there, so I go through the house. Stanley, kitty, kitty, meow, meow, kitty, kitty, meow. Nowhere to be found. These animals are my kids, man. They're the only family I got. Her and mom, them and mom. So I'm like freaking having anxiety, and then I'm like, go upstairs, kitty, kitty, no cat's nowhere, I'm out looking for the cat for 2 hours, 2.5 hours walking around. My freaking pretty ankle. It's past the painful point though, so I'm cool with it. And I was just like, I don't want to go. I couldn't even go in the house because I didn't want to be in the house when there's not a cat. And I'm just like, oh, I just want to come around the corner and see that cat in the window, and everything be okay, everything be okay. I don't want my normal to change, and I don't want my reality to exist without freaking Stan Lee. He's the best cat in the world. So I didn't meditate, didn't even meditate. I didn't even try. I couldn't. I was too wound up, and I'm just walking around the neighborhood, and I was like, you're gonna have to go inside because your ankle can't take much more. You're tired. I came inside and went and laid down, and I was just thinking, okay, this time of day he's over here and where I wish he was here and stuff. And I came around the corner, and Mom was in her room. I don't know if she came outside and let him in. She didn't. She just said he was in the window. She's having a hard time with her astrology and biorhythms too. It's been a rough time for both of us, and sometimes you can pray and meditate all day long, and sometimes stuff just sucks, So, I came around the corner, and Stanley was in the window. I was just like, oh my God. Instant relief, and everything was okay. And then you get to that place when everything in your family and your loved ones are okay and they're safe, then you can just be at ease, And then I think about how many people aren't at ease. They just don't even have their basic needs met. It started this morning. We woke up. Mom had a headache this morning. Came out and I washed her hair, and she feels better now. The city came. They're turning on the sprinklers. I put a video about that. It's just, it's just a waste. It's not that I have a beef with about them, in their efforts in caring about the environment, but it's not practical. They have sprinklers that are misters that are on poles that are 3.5 feet tall. So when they go on, it just blows off into the mist stuff. And I mean, it's not practical. Put it on a drip system. Let the water actually go into the vegetation, not off into the fucking atmosphere. It's just not practical, and people don't. And and when I was cantankerous at first and just talking shit, because like you people don't care, and this girl's like, oh, I do care, and I looked into it. The city says there's no city water usage, and blah blah blah. I'm just like, they don't even know what they're talking about, because you have city government employees. Things aren't gonna change until you guys start coming up and like actually start doing your job, or stepping down and letting people in that are willing to work. Because you're done. You're tired. You're done. I just had an exchange with the woman. This is how divine timing works. Mom's been asking about Sassy's nails, and she gets stressed, and it's always an ordeal. And she and I went for a walk the other day to get rid of some of our energy, and there was a mobile grooming van at the corner, 2 houses down, and there's a lady wrangling up a extension cord, and I was like, is this yours? And she's like, you might be a solution to my problem. This is Sassy, this is my mom, she only charges $5. Trina's her name. So today I called her yesterday I called her. This is how I know that we're, sometimes you're just supposed to run into people and know people, for whatever reason. Just be open to it without fear. Just be open to it. So she gave me her phone number, and I went to the grocery store yesterday while the clothes were in the dryer. I took out my phone to see what time it was, how much time I had left on the dryer, and she had called and left me a message, and I listened to it, and my pocket evidently wanted to have a conversation with her private, and called her, and she was just calling me back to see what was going on, because she was having all kinds of problems yesterday too with her phone. Just like Global Watch was high, I get my notifications from Space Watch, and this is how I know, okay, when things are like this, I gotta do extra to be cool. People aren't doing that. She's like, I couldn't, I was talking about the astrology, and she was like, yeah, I couldn't believe this was happening, and then we start talking about the city and the state employees, and the injustice is all over there, and they're only going to continue, because why do people need to come in starting off making $90,000 a year? Who gets to do that? Where's the earning of coming up through the ranks? When I was fresh out of college, I was lucky to make freaking 45. And now people are in these jobs for 25 years, and and they've worked, maybe they worked hard, maybe they didn't, it's whatever, but all people have to do, I just think about what the world could be if people just did the right thing. And another beef that I have with this whole project, this whole water project with this, is that they had the parts, they had the parks manufactured and made up in Washington State and shipped down here. So a lot of these bureaucrats are like making dealings with their buddies, their good old boys. This good old boy shit needs to stop. I ain't never met a good old boy. I mean, a guy that's real, good and true, and all that. I met a lot of fakes and phonies and fakes. But good old boy, your freaking fake wars and your freaking, spending billions and billions on security. Well, who's gonna protect us from you guys, huh? Who's gonna protect us from you? The egos that hide behind shiny badges and sports cars to protect and serve. Why do you guys get all this stuff? All these, hard-working people just trying to get by, getting freaking reamed on taxes year after year after year. So bureaucrats, most of them are already freaking billionaires, millionaires anyway, can just keep sitting in chairs and collecting paychecks. So unless like a lot of these people start coming up going, you know what, I don't need to make this much. You think that's going to happen? You think people are going to start forfeiting pay? You think people are going to start standing up and going, here, let me share, the article I read in San Francisco, for every 11,600 people, there's a billionaire? I wonder why the suicide rate is slowly creeping up to 50%, because the world, frankly, isn't worth living in. I'll be right there, Mom! It's alright, close the door securely, all the way. He can come out. Just let him out. Close that door. Close the door. Close the door. She's not firing up. Close the door. I don't care. Close the door. I'm doing a video, and I don't really want to do this right now. They're fine where they are. I just don't want any more dogs getting out. Anyway, she's not even, like, I say close the door, and she opens the door. I'm just a little gun shy because 4 dogs got out yesterday, and I don't really want to chase after them today. Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, but it's like all these people know of all that speak on these things that are wrong, and the people that have the power to change it aren't doing what's right. That's why the world is the way it is, because the people that have the power to do things right and to give resources, what is it going to take to freaking buy an apartment complex for the city and let freaking go people live in it, but you can't, but it's not a prison where you designate that these inmates are cost $70,000 annually to vet for living in a cage for dental and all that stuff, so they say, okay, well it's just all a racket, and all these evil freaking gross entities, but money always wins, because money is the most important thing in the world until you die, and then you realize, oh shit, I was freaking wrong. But anyway, that's all I got for today. What I was going to say is, this is the stuff that we're going to do. Just as much as I have a right to be a freaking jerk and talk smack to the freaking city employees, I also have a right to not live that way. And I was sure to go back later and reintroduce myself and assure them that they're not going to have any trouble from me. I don't mean any disrespect to them or their families. And I understand they're just trying to do their job. Just whatever they do in life, just do the right thing. If you don't agree with something that your boss is doing, don't do it. Don't be a fall guy for somebody that doesn't freaking care about people, because they have their own agendas. So that's all I got. So if you aren't willing to whatever you're gonna say, either stick with it. If you're not willing to stick with it, you gotta make it right, because that's the only way that's gonna heal this world. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.